Alrighty, it's Monday night, a few days after I got the truck. We're going to go into a scan tool and find out what the code is. I'm pretty sure that it's the coolant temperature sensor. Actually, I know it is, I've already done it. But anyway, I'm going to show you. It was idling high. It quit on me a few times. She was complaining it was hard on fuel, so I don't know if it just developed when I drove it. This truck had sit for a long time, probably about a year or so. So that could have some effect on it, I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter, it's an easy fix. I had some in my toolbox cheap, so it's free. Anyway, I'll show you what to do next. Alrighty, so I'm going to use this old Snap-on scan tool we bought years ago. Yeah, at the time it was really expensive, a few $1,000s. Now it's not worth $100, but anyway. I'm not going to go into how to set this up. I'm just going to show you the code. The diagnostic OBD1 connector is under here on this one, and you have to plug into either the cigarette lighter or use the adapter to go under the hood to a power source. Alright, so there's lots of glare on it. Anyway, sorry about the annoying buzzer. Here, and turn the key on. Let's get rid of that fan. Alright, we're just going to reuse the same vehicle. Codes and data. You can do all kinds of different stuff. Not as much as the newer ones anyway. Do not drive. Code 15, coolant temp signal high or open. And if you scroll down, coolant temperature right here. This is a dead giveaway. Damn freaking glare. Anyway, it says it's minus 36 degrees Celsius. So Fahrenheit, that's even worse. Alright, so what that's doing is dumping lots of fuel, rich fuel mixture down the, I'm not going to say carburetor, the throttle body. And what it's doing, it's thinking it's minus 36 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really cold, so it's a really rich mixture. The truck is idling high. The only way to reset these computers, I'll show you in a minute, after we change the temperature sensor, is to take the battery cable off for 30 seconds. And some people even hit the brake and do all kinds of weird things to try to get the residual power out of the system, but you don't need to. After that, it has to go through a dry cycle. I'm not sure how many kilometers it is, that's so many RPM, but anyway, let's get to it. Alright, now this system here uses two coolant temperature sensors. One for the PCM, which is right here behind the alternator. And a lot of times these connectors get green and corrode it. You can see that one's not bad. And the second one for the gauge is over here on the side of the block, right in here. A lot of people think that that's the one that caused it. No, the computer runs on its own separate one. Anyway, so I just happen to have a brand new used one in my toolbox. I just cleaned it up and put some Teflon tape. Make sure the connections aren't all corroded in there. That's a common problem with these. 3/4 inch. I'll have to run to the garage and get a socket. If you do this fast, you shouldn't have to drain the coolant. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it go. Anyway, let's get a socket and ratchet on there. Alright, so the proper thing to do would be to drain the rad and go through all that BS, but I hate touching these plastic radiators because if they're old, they could break the drain plug off. I've done it so many times I don't want to bother with it. It's happened to me. Anyway, so I got a long extension and a deep socket. You're going to quickly change it, and I don't know if I can, well, I might be able to tape this for you. Hang on, I got no tripod still, so I haven't made it to the store yet. Alright. If you got animals around, you might want to put a drain plan underneath, because antifreeze, glucose antifreeze is deadly to animals. Okay, we're going to do this really quick. See, you didn't lose that much. Okay, worth noting, you may want to use a wrench in there instead of a deep socket, because I just snapped the end of that one off. Not like it really matters. Oh, sorry. But anyway, so we're going to tighten that one back up. It's finger tight right now with the wrench. Reconnect it. We're going to pull our battery cable off for 30 seconds to reset the PCM, because that's the only way to do it, to clear the codes. There's no other way to do it on OBD1, on a GM anyway. I find on a GM it's easier to use a socket, and you can see someone's already rounded that off. I might have to use vice grips, but anyway, 6-point socket works well. And some of the cars you had to have these special wrenches to get down in there. Kind of a pain in the ass, and that's why that truck there, I put a top post in it. Anyway, take this off for about 30 seconds, and then yeah, This is interesting. Must be for the trailer brakes. Anyway, you can see some corrosion there. Might have to fix that later on. Okay, I should have had the cable off to make things go a little bit faster while I was changing the sensor. But anyway, I'm not going to hook this back up. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's for the electric brakes. It's got some kind of relay thingy here, so we don't need that hooked up right now, but we will later on. Anyway, hook that back up and we'll go back inside the cab. I'm not sure if this is a new rad or not. Probably. We need to address this issue too. I'll have to find an old shroud somewhere in the junkyard. Okay, with the computer reset, it'll have to go through a drive cycle. Anyway, let's start her up, see what happens. Still kind of idle and high. No engine light though. So let's go into here. Codes and data. Oh, you guys can't see that. Friggin' light, man. I'm telling you. There it is. Okay, coolant temperature. 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Much better. And from here we can watch our O2 sensors, cross counts, and watch everything else. You can watch the integrated circuit too. Integrator 128. That sounds normal, I believe. I can't remember. It's been so long since I had to deal with OBD1. I'm glad they did away with it. On some cars it's almost impossible to get live data. Yeah, you can even watch the transmission, but that's what I wanted to see. A lot better. You notice the RPMs has come down to 875. Oop, right there. Okay, I think that's good, but without taking it for a road test and getting it through its drive cycle, it's going to be hard to tell if it's totally fixed, but I think it is. You can see the difference right there in the temperature sensor, so that's good. That's an easy fix. And that was what was wrong with my white truck too. The guy was complaining about it really hard on gas, stalling, and black smoke. It's quite common for a GM. It's a quite common problem with this GMs. I think right from like 88, 89, right up to like 97-ish. I know they switched over from throttle body to the other, but I think they still had that type of sensor. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty easy fix. So there we go. She's idling a lot better. I'll have to take it for another road test, I guess. I can even watch the O2 sensor. I think it's set on this one. Rich, lean, which means it's working. I want to see that. The integrator looks good. It says do not drive. Anyway, yeah, it's got to go through its drive cycle. Anyway, guys. Alright guys, we'll be getting back on Tankenstein shortly, probably next, because I did do some work on it last night on the throttle, but I'm not sure when I'm posting this video. We'll see. It might be after this one. Anyway, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I enjoy everybody's comments, so keep them coming, guys.